The glimmering city of Cepolis pulsed with bioluminescent life. Look at those hatchlings chasing each other, Amara. They have no idea what lurks beyond the coral reefs, chuckled Neela, a seasoned fisher Ami with a net draped over her shoulder. Amara, a young Ami with eyes that shimmered like polished pearls, grinned.
True, but that's what keeps life exciting, wouldn't you say?
Their laughter echoed through the current plaza, a bustling marketplace teeming with activity. Schools of brightly colored fish darted between the legs of shoppers, while artisans bartered their intricate pearl jewelry. Amara, ever the tinkerer, stopped to admire a contraption made from repurposed seashells.
Fascinating.
Planning your next invention, Amara?
A gruff voice boomed from behind. It was Elder Kale, his iridescent skin etched with the wisdom of centuries.
Perhaps, Elder. Though this contraption seems more suited for navigating the surface than the depths.
Amara replied, a hint of mischief in her voice. Elder Kale's brow furrowed.
The surface? We don't speak of such things, child. It's a dangerous world up there.
But what if there's a way to coexist?
The scars of the past run deep, Amara. We Ami were driven from our homes by human cruelty. Can we truly trust them?
Elder Kale sighed. The conversation was interrupted by a commotion near the manta ray stables. A young Ami, Nai, his face pale with fear, was struggling to control his mouth. The manta ray, spooked by something, thrashed its wings, sending plumes of sand swirling through the water. Easy there. What's gotten into her? Soothed Euron, the stable master, his voice firm yet calming. I saw something, a shadow, huge and dark. It had eyes. Nai stammered, pointing towards the edge of the city's bioluminescent glow. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Leviathan. The mere mention of the monstrous eels sent shivers down spines. The Coral Guard, Ami warriors clad in shimmering sharkskin armor, immediately formed a perimeter. Everyone back. We'll handle this. Captain Layla bellowed, her voice laced with urgency. Amara watched, her heart pounding, as the Coral Guard, armed with spears tipped with glowing urchin spines, swam towards the darkness. The Leviathan, a monstrous serpent with eyes that burned like embers, emerged from the shadows. A tense battle ensued, the bioluminescent glow of the city illuminating the clash. Just as the Leviathan seemed about to overpower the Coral Guard, a loud clang resonated through the water. Amara whirled around to see Nai, his face streaked with grime, holding aloft a strange metal shard.
What is that?
Elder Kale boomed, his voice filled with disbelief. I found it near a shipwreck. It's human technology. Nai stammered, his voice barely audible over the din of the battle. A hush fell over the crowd. The discovery of the shard, a relic from the war, sent a wave of unease through Cepolis. News of the find spread like wildfire, igniting a fierce debate amongst the Ami. Weeks later, Amara stood before the council chamber, her voice trembling slightly.
We can't remain isolated forever. There may be a way to coexist with humans peacefully.
She argued, her bioluminescence pulsing with nervous energy. The elders exchanged glances, their silence heavy with the weight of history. Finally, Elder Kale spoke.
We have chosen an envoy. Amara, you will travel to the rumored human research facility and attempt communication.
He announced, his voice resonating through the chamber. Amara's heart hammered in her chest. The journey was fraught with danger, but a spark of hope ignited within her. Deep within the inky blackness, she finally spotted the research facility, a stark metallic structure humming with an alien energy. Taking a deep breath, Amara activated the bioluminescent beacon, a silent plea for contact. Inside the facility, Dr. Raya Petrova, a brilliant but ostracized scientist, monitored the readings with a frown.
There's an anomaly on the sonar. An unidentified bioluminescent signature.
She announced, her voice laced with excitement. Her colleagues scoffed. Probably just a stray jellyfish, Raya. One of them muttered, but Dr. Petrova wouldn't be deterred. She directed the submersible towards the signal, a strange mix of apprehension and curiosity welling up within her. As the submersible emerged from the inky blackness, Dr. Petrova's breath hitched. A creature unlike anything she'd ever seen stood before them. Its iridescent skin shimmered with bioluminescence, its large eyes reflecting the artificial light of the submersible. Fear and hope warred on Amara's face as she activated the translation device, its soft hum filling the tense silence.
Greetings. We come in peace.
A voice crackled through the speakers, the synthesized tones wavering slightly. Dr. Petrova stared, dumbfounded. This wasn't just some bioluminescent creature. It was an intelligent being. Recovering her composure, she spoke into the microphone, her voice surprisingly steady.
Greetings. I am Dr. Raya Petrova. We received your signal. Who are you?
I am Amara, an envoy from the underwater city of Cepolis. We have lived in peace beneath the waves for millennia, but recent discoveries have prompted us to reach out.
The voice replied, the synthesized tones smoothing out. Intrigued, Dr. Petrova pressed on. Discoveries? Can you elaborate? Amara recounted the story of the Leviathan attack, the discovery of the human shard, and the growing curiosity about the world above. Dr. Petrova, captivated by the tale, found herself drawn to Amara's sincerity.
We pose no threat. We simply seek understanding. Is there a way we can coexist peacefully?
Amara continued, her voice filled with a newfound resolve. A heavy silence descended upon the submersible. Dr. Petrova knew the implications were immense. Reaching out to an unknown underwater civilization could be groundbreaking, but it could also be met with fear and hostility.
This is unprecedented. I need to inform my superiors.
She finally admitted, her voice heavy with the weight of the decision. Days turned into weeks as Amara waited in a designated holding area within the facility. The silence was broken only by the low hum of machinery and the distant calls of unseen creatures. Dr. Petrova, her initial excitement tempered by bureaucratic hurdles, championed Amara's cause.
This is a chance to rewrite history. Imagine the possibilities of collaboration on ocean preservation, not to mention the scientific breakthroughs.
She argued before a skeptical council. The council remained cautious, haunted by past conflicts. Finally, a compromise was reached. Dr. Petrova, with Amara by her side, would journey to Cepolis as an ambassador. The news spread like wildfire through both societies. On the surface, pockets of resistance erupted, driven by fear of the unknown. Yet, Dr. Petrova's passionate pleas and Amara's story resonated with many. The idea of a lost underwater civilization sparked public imagination and a newfound respect for the ocean. In Cepolis, the Ami celebrated with cautious optimism. The possibility of returning to the surface, not as refugees but as equals, filled them with a sense of hope. As Dr. Petrova's submersible descended towards the bioluminescent glow of Cepolis, a hush fell over the city. The docking of the submersible marked a historic moment. Amara, acting as a translator and bridge between the two worlds, facilitated a tense yet hopeful first meeting. The Ami delegation, led by the wise Elder Kale, approached with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. Dr. Petrova, representing humanity, mirrored their cautiousness.
Welcome, Dr. Petrova. We have waited a long time for this moment.
Elder Kale boomed, his bioluminescence pulsing with a mix of emotions. Dr. Petrova returned the gesture, her voice resonating through the chamber.
The honor is ours, Elder Kale. We come in peace and with the hope of a brighter future.
The meeting stretched for hours, a delicate dance of diplomacy. Old wounds were acknowledged, apologies offered, and a shared future envisioned. Agreements were made for cultural exchanges, scientific collaboration, and most importantly, the establishment of a permanent communication channel. The path to true reconciliation would be long, filled with challenges and mistrust. But with the first tentative steps taken, A flash of hope ignited in the vast expanse of the ocean. The story of the Ami, evidence to resilience and the enduring power of hope. It was a symbol of a future where Ami and humans could learn to coexist, not as enemies, but as guardians of a shared world. The question of the metal shard gnawed at Amara even as she celebrated the tentative peace treaty. During a quiet moment with Dr. Petrova, she presented the shard, its surface etched with strange symbols. Dr. Petrova, intrigued, took it back to the surface for further analysis. Weeks passed without any news. Amara grew restless, the silence a breeding ground for anxieties. Finally, a message arrived, delivered through the newly established communication channel. Dr. Petrova requested a private meeting, one that excluded the elders. Amara, a knot of worry tightening in her stomach, swam to the designated neutral zone, a specially constructed underwater chamber. Dr. Petrova arrived, her face etched with a mixture of excitement and trepidation.
Amara, we've made a startling discovery. The symbols on the shard are not human in origin. They're something else entirely.
Something else? What do you mean?
Amara's bioluminescence flickered with confusion. Dr. Petrova projected a holographic image, a detailed map of the ocean floor, a location far removed from Cepolis and the human settlements, pulsating with an unidentified energy signature.
This might be the source of the shard and perhaps the reason for the war that drove your people underwater. We need to investigate. Together. This could rewrite our understanding of history.
Dr. Petrova continued, her voice filled with a newfound urgency. A shiver ran down Amara's spine. Could there be another civilization, a third player in the conflict, one lost to time? The implications were staggering. Amara hesitated. The elders had forbidden any exploration beyond the familiar bioluminescent glow of Cepolis. But the thirst for knowledge, the need to understand their past, burned brightly within her.
I can't make this decision alone. But I will bring your proposal to the council. Be warned, they may not be receptive.
Dr. Petrova nodded, understanding the weight of Amara's words. The council meeting was tense. The elders, wary of venturing into the unknown, argued against the expedition.
We have built a fragile peace. Unveiling secrets from the past could shatter it.
The truth will come out eventually. Is it better to face it together, or be caught off guard?
A heavy silence descended upon the chamber. Finally, a compromise was reached. A small, joint expedition would be formed, led by Amara and Dr. Petrova. Their mission: to investigate the anomaly and uncover the truth about the past. The journey was fraught with peril. They braved treacherous currents, navigated uncharted underwater canyons, and encountered bioluminescent creatures unlike any they had seen before. The tension was heightened by the knowledge that they were venturing far beyond the protection of their respective civilizations. Finally, after weeks of travel, they arrived at the source of the anomaly, a colossal metallic structure partially buried in the ocean floor. It emitted a faint hum, pulsating with an otherworldly energy. As they drew closer, a holographic inscription flickered to life, projecting symbols identical to those on the shard. This isn't human technology. It's far more advanced. Dr. Petrova whispered, awestruck. Amara, her bioluminescence flickering with a mix of fear and fascination, cautiously reached out and touched the inscription. A surge of energy coursed through her, flooding her mind with fragmented visions. A technologically advanced civilization, a catastrophic war, and a desperate exodus to the stars. As the visions faded, Amara and Dr. Petrova exchanged a stunned look. The truth was far more complex than they could have ever imagined. The war that drove the Ami underwater wasn't solely between them and humans. It was a conflict involving a third, far more advanced race, one that had vanished without a trace. The discovery left them with more questions than answers. Who were these beings? What caused their war? And where did they go? The answers, they realized, held the key to understanding their own past and forging a truly peaceful future for both Ami and humans. With a newfound sense of purpose, Amara and Dr. Petrova returned to their respective societies. carrying the weight of this astonishing discovery. The revelation of the alien civilization sent shockwaves through both Ami and human societies. Public forums buzzed with speculation, some fearing an imminent alien invasion, others filled with a sense of wonder. The elders, ever cautious, advocated for secrecy, fearing panic would derail the fragile peace. Dr. Petrova, however, believed transparency was key.
We can't control the narrative if we keep it hidden. Imagine the public backlash if the truth comes out later.
She argued during a tense video conference with the elders. Amara, her voice amplified through the translator device, supported Dr. Petrova.
Knowledge is power. Together, Ami and humans can delve deeper, understand the past, and prevent such a war from ever happening again.
She stated, her bioluminescence pulsing with conviction. The council remained divided, but a compromise was reached. A joint scientific task force would be established, tasked with studying the alien structure and deciphering its secrets. The location, however, would be kept confidential, a concession to the elders' concerns. The task force, a diverse group of Ami scientists with their bioluminescent tools and their human counterparts with their advanced technology, assembled at a specially constructed underwater research facility near the alien structure. The initial days were filled with frustration as neither side could make significant headway. The alien technology seemed to defy comprehension, its language an indecipherable code. Then a breakthrough. A young Ami scientist named Amara, fascinated by the holographic inscription, noticed a subtle pattern in the way the symbols interacted with light. Using bioluminescent crystals as filters, she managed to manipulate the projection, revealing a hidden message. The message, translated with a painstaking combination of Ami bioluminescence and human technology, was a chilling warning. The alien race, the Hosians, had used the structure as a gateway to a vast network of stargates, a network they exploited for interstellar travel. However, their reliance on a rare mineral for powering the gates led to conflict with another civilization. The war that ensued devastated their own world, forcing them to flee through the stargates, leaving the partially buried structure as a silent testament to their downfall. The revelation sent a shiver down Amara's spine. The Hosians, a race driven to war by resource scarcity, mirrored humanity's own destructive tendencies. It was a stark reminder of the importance of responsible stewardship of their own planet. Driven by a renewed sense of urgency, the task force delved deeper. They discovered a vast repository of Hosian knowledge within the structure, scientific advancements, historical records, even a map of the Stargate network. The knowledge was a treasure trove, offering solutions to environmental problems plaguing both Ami and humans, and a glimpse into the vastness of the universe. However, the Stargate network presented a dilemma. The technology, though advanced, held the potential for misuse. A heated debate erupted within the task force. Some, particularly on the human side, saw it as an opportunity for interstellar exploration. Others, led by Amara and Dr. Petrova, argued for caution.
We haven't even solved our own problems on this planet. Venturing into the unknown with such powerful technology could have disastrous consequences.
Amara argued, her voice resonating with authority. A tense standoff ensued, threatening to fracture the fragile cooperation. Finally, a middle ground was reached. The Stargate network would remain deactivated, its secrets studied for peaceful applications. Exploration of the cosmos, if it ever happened, would be a joint endeavor, undertaken with responsibility and a deep respect for all life. Years passed, and the collaboration between Ami and humans blossomed. The Hosian technology revolutionized their understanding of the ocean, leading to sustainable energy solutions and the development of advanced underwater exploration vehicles. The fear of the unknown faded, replaced by a shared sense of purpose, to protect their world and learn from the mistakes of the past. One quiet evening, Amara and Dr. Petrova stood side by side, gazing at the bioluminescent city of Cepolis from a viewing platform within the research facility. The site, once a symbol of isolation, now represented a beacon of hope for a future where different species could coexist in harmony. Dr. Petrova mused, a hint of a smile playing on her lips.
Who knows what the future holds? But one thing's for sure, we'll face it together.